Alright, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. Today, guys, I'm here to discuss with you guys a beautiful win for Bars. Beautiful win. Beautiful win. And guys, I'll be honest with you guys. I did not expect Barca to be this good. And I think it shows that although we did win this game very convincingly, we still have to say that Osasuna were not very good. They were not very good. And I was not very impressed with them. They didn't do anything in this game. Like, if I'm being honest with you, they didn't do anything. But you can only be what's in front of you, and we got the job done. And this is something that we are needing to see on a regular basis. And I look at this lineup that Barca put out there. It was a very strong lineup. You had Ter Stegen, Alves, PK, Garcia, Alba, and probably some people were wondering why was Araujo not starting. Well, the reason why is because Araujo is one yellow away from suspension, and had he had picked up a yellow card, he would miss the Real Madrid game. And obviously, ideally, we didn't want him to miss it, right? Obviously, so that's why he didn't start this game. And then you had Gavi, Busquets, and Pedri, pretty good midfield. And then you had Torres, Aubameyang, and Dembele. I was really mostly frustrated when I saw this lineup. I was mostly frustrated with the fact that Torres was starting on the left. I did not like Ferran Torres starting. And, guys, I've not really been impressed with his game. He's consistently being a letdown. But today, he really showed up, man. And I got to apologize for him because he played out a very good performance today. And then as far as Pedri's concerned, I would have liked for Pedri to get benched and, get some minutes rest because, like I said, you guys, he's been playing so much. I really don't want him to get injured a long time as we saw with Koeman last season. So, I don't want Pedri to be overused, right? And for me, let's talk about the players today because this was a very good performance. And let's start with this. Let's start with the very first goal. The first goal came from a beautiful pass from Busquets that finds Gavi. He was taken down inside the box. Vidal gets a yellow card, and Nacho Vidal was not very good in the day. Probably one of the worst players in the day. Gave away a penalty, and Torres steps up. He scores. Went to the keeper's right, and it was a definitive penalty. There was another shout for a penalty. But it wasn't as clear. This one was definitively clear. There's no debate to be had. The second goal came from Ousmane Dembele, who basically Pedri did a pre-assist there to Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele finds Torres on the edge of the box, and Torres slots it in to make it 2-0. And then the third goal comes from Dembele yet again, who puts an audacious cross into the box. Aubameyang puts inside the box to make it 3-0. And at this point, it was 3-0 before halftime within the first 27 minutes of the game. And I was thinking to myself, wow, what a performance, man. What a performance, right? The second half comes on. It was more or less not really the same intensity. You could kind of get the feeling because, like I said, the players are more like, the game is wrapped up, so why would they go forward more? But, of course, Xavi did make some changes. He brought up Jordi Alba, brought up PK. He brought up Pedri, brought up Torres, Aubameyang to get the likes of Longley, Depay, Puig, Mingueza, Braithwaite, and let's talk about that forward goal, guys. Dembele pre-assist there, man. That was a great assist. A Dembele assist there. Puig goes for goal, saved by Herrera. Rebound falls nicely to Puig. He took his time. He was very patient with his build-up. Takes his nice time, puts in the back of the net to make it 4-0. And at this point, I knew the game was over. I mean, the game was already over before halftime, in my opinion, but this really definitively put out the game. And for me, it was a very good performance, man. And let's talk about this man right here, guys. Ousmane Dembele. This guy needs to be given a huge standing ovation. Because for me, I know Ferran Torres has officially received the man of the match. And while I do give credit for him, I think Ferran Torres was very good today. For me, the real man of the match should be, in my opinion, Dembele. For me, what he did on the right flank was amazing. Him providing those two crosses there. And even though his shooting today was a bit off, I didn't like his shooting whatsoever. His key passes was very key. And his expected goals, expected assist was great. And overall, in my opinion, just a very, very good player, man. And the thing about Dembele is this, and what I've always said about him is that I think he's a class player. He's a very good player. But my issue is that he's just not consistent enough when it comes to the goals and assists. And that is the most frustrating thing about him is that if he's a bit more consistent, we could really see him be better. And I just think that for me, Dembele, he needs to improve on his consistency. That's really my main issue there because I think on his day, he can be one of the best players in the world, but he just needs to improve his consistency, which is something that I find to be very, very frustrating indeed. And, for Ferran Torres, I think he had a very good game. Obviously, him getting embraced was great. Obama had a good game, too. And let's talk about Gavi, man. Gavi also had a very good game. We got to talk about Gavi here in particular, who, in my opinion, was very good today. Industrious midfield. He's 17 years old and showing what he's made of, man, because I think for me, he was very good in the day. You guys can see stats-wise, he had a very good game. 1, a penalty, key passes 1, 102 touches. This was a dribbles 5. And look at the tenacity, man. Interceptions, recoveries, man. Ground duels. Very good performance from him. I was very happy with him. Dembele, Gavi for me was very good. I really liked it too. Ferran Torres, I would say was pretty good. You know, Danny Alves I thought was decent as well. Him at that he was also very good. I think he was the part of the reason why we got that third goal. I think his build up there was very nice for Dembele to find the cross. Garcia I thought also was decent on the day. Alba I thought was good. I mean, like I said, guys, it was all around a very good performance. There's not really much issues I have here. And it shows how crazy this team is, because this team, man, is very good, man, and very, very good indeed. And you guys can see the table right now, guys. We actually find ourselves to be third in the table. And you guys can see the full table right now, guys, that we have a game in hand on Sevilla, which is Rayo Vallecano, which we probably should win, right? Then we'll be 2 points behind them. And if we win that game in hand, if we win that game against Sevilla, because remember, guys, we'll be playing Sevilla the game after El Clasico, we could actually potentially go above them, which would be crazy, guys. Let me just say this right now, guys. If we get second in this league, it would be incredibly crazy indeed. You know, and so, like I said before, guys, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. You know, obviously, guys, the next game is going to be the El Clasico game, guys. That'll be a very interesting game. And that's where I feel like, guys, we will really see a true test. Because I'll be real with you guys, as good as this win is, don't get me wrong, this is a great win indeed. Let's not, guys, it's perfect. We still have some room to improve. And I just think that for me, if we can beat Real Madrid, that will be a huge statement. If we can beat Real Madrid in El Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu on Sunday, that will tell me this team is really back. Because I'll be real with you guys, we can win all these games you want. But if we don't win these big games, so when it comes to really matters, then I don't know if we're really back. You know, because like I said, guys, we have to win that game against Real Madrid, or at the very least get a draw. We cannot lose to Real Madrid, man. We cannot have 6 El Clasico L's in a row. And of course, guys, I'll have more about that match in the coming days for my preview, guys. That'll be a very excited match preview, guys, and I'm really looking forward to it, guys. And it's gonna be a very intense match. It's gonna be a very, very insane match, and obviously, guys, I think it will be very interesting to see how it all pans out. Because, like I said, guys, I'm really looking forward to it. So, like I said, guys, there's not really much else to add here. I think for me, this was a very good performance, as I said. I think Nacho Vidal for Osasuna was probably one of the worst. I didn't think David Garcia was good. There wasn't really any player from Osasuna that was decent on the day. Everyone was just average, and there wasn't anyone that was very good on the day. And yeah, man, so that's pretty much about it. So like I said before, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this little match review, guys. It was a very good match review, guys. Good win indeed. And now we move on to our next match, which is against Galatasaray. And hopefully we show up in that day, because like I said before, guys, we probably should progress, right? So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this match review. Guys, make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts. Subscribe if you're new on here. Like this video as well if you did enjoy. Make sure you guys check out my other pods in the description below, my Twitter, Discord, email, and Twitch. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.